Hello, my people. Good afternoon. How everyone is doing? It's your girl again, Wisdom Mama TV. You get matter where they go on the thing tire me, no be let me one it tire. So now I say make I come share am with my people this afternoon. So the news we say this where they go around. So now it be this COVID-19 matter, cause the whole matter don't even tire us. So our Africa president Tanzania expose doctors where they do test, all these medical doctor where they do test. So he can't take a sample from goat, he take from papaya and quarry. So as he take am, he can't carry and go give all the doctors, make they confirm whether it contain COVID-19. So the surprising thing where all of them can't do, they can't say all of them contain COVID-19. And this man, when he want give them this blood, he made them say na blood, na human being blood. So now he take try them whether they really truthful. So as all of them come, they say the three, the pawpaw, the quarry, and the goats, they say they contain COVID-19. So even when you want carry and give them, he even add the oil where they use for car. He even add and join the blood. So they still confirm and say he get COVID-19. Now that the matter tire me yesterday when I dey look the news. The thing come surprise me. So when the man come dey like they ask them say, what you una say happen to this blood wey him give una? So una come say they confirm them say they get COVID-19. Now the man laugh say him dey surprise for una. Him just make him job by try them. So all these tests wey him carry come, all of una just still for put. I just name them say na human being name. Say na human being na him be the blood, na him get the blood. So all of una just for put. All those blood, there be one na for goat, one na for papaya, the other one na for quarry. The quarry na everybody know am. I go see they show the picture for here. So the whole thing come tire me. I come dey like now so all this matter just reach. Because all this Africa, like my Nigeria, the way the matter they go on COVID-19 everywhere, coronavirus, the thing they would make a person they tire. So it means say everything now where they go, or even animal where they go around now, all of them get COVID-19. So I don't do they watch many video COVID-19. Even people from isolation center.
Hello everyone and a warm welcome to the morning call with me, Jerry Bambi. Now, there's been a top and controversial sacking in Tanzania. Head of the country's National Health Laboratory in charge of coronavirus testing was suspended a day after President John Magufuli questioned the accuracy of the test. Magufuli, who has been consistently downplayed the effect of the virus, said on Sunday that he had secretly had animals, fruits and vehicle oil tested at the laboratory. Now, take a listen to some of the things he said he had tested. A papaya, a quail, and a goat. All, he says, had been found to be positive. He cast doubt on the credibility of laboratory equipment and technicians and questioned official data on the pandemic. The president, in fact, called for an investigation into what he suspected to be a dirty game in the laboratory, but did not say where the kits had come from. So the lab director here, Yambura Moremi, has been fired, and a 10-person committee has been formed to investigate the laboratory's operations, including its process of collecting and testing samples. Presently, Tanzania has about 480 COVID-19 cases, including 16 deaths. Now, there's so much to talk about in this story and generally on Tanzania's approach to coronavirus. This morning, we'll take a quick look at the suspension of the lab director. And joining us over the phone from Dar es Salaam to talk about this is a human rights activist, Fatma Karume. Fatma, good to have you with us this morning. Tanzania's lab head is suspended following the COVID-19 positive test carried out on jackfruit, goats, and pawpaw. But the government is not exposing where these kits were imported from. What do you make of this?
My understanding is that there is a set of processes and procedures that are used to test the efficacy of a laboratory. In other words, how the laboratory functions, whether the people who are operating the laboratory are using proper procedures. And my understanding as well is that there is a way of testing the efficacy of a machine that is supposed to give results. And I have never heard of part of the test being that you feed it with samples which the machine is not supposed to be fed with in order to detect its efficacy. That just can't be right. What the president did was use a completely unscientific approach under the guise of science to test the staff at the laboratory and to test the machine that is being used at the laboratory. The issue is not whether or not the issue is not where this machine came from. That's neither here nor there. The issue is, if you want to test the efficacy of a machine and you want to test the efficacy of a laboratory, then there are processes and procedures that have to be applied. You just don't take samples from jackfruit, for God's sake, and then take it to the laboratory and say, well, the result is indeterminate, so this laboratory are faking results.
Fatma, so you talk about processes here and the efficacy. Let's move on now. The president is promising to import a cure for COVID-19, most likely the touted Malagash remedy. But just yesterday, the WHO warned against such and he called what he calls untested drugs. Looks like President Magufuli may not be seeing much opposition to some of his actions in Tanzania.
I think your question suggests that people are not standing up against the president's thoughts. As far as I'm concerned, the opposition have been very articulate with respect to their views on the president's stand during this pandemic. So I don't think Tanzanians are just quiet and saying, well, we are in agreement with you, Mr. President. Tanzanians are very vocal. A lot of Tanzanians are very vocal about what they believe. Unfortunately, there is very little one can do other than be vocal and explain that this is not something we support. So with respect to the president's promise, we shall wait and see. Let's see if he does purchase the medicine from Madagascar, and he does proceed to use our meager resources to purchase an untested medication. And we will see how many people it'll cure, if at all.
Interesting. Fatma, I'd like to thank you for sharing your thoughts and insights with us this morning. Thank you very much. Many thanks indeed. Tanzanian human rights activist Fatma Karume speaking to us there from Dar es Salaam. If you're just joining us, you're watching The Morning Call right here on African News. We move on now to bring you some more stories making headlines across the continent.